Hey, how are you guys? It is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. Now, in this video, I want to talk about the actual value of an MSP, and the way you convey that value is going to vastly determine how much a customer is willing to pay, and also how likely you are to actually close the deal. And this is going to help you tremendously throughout your career. And if you're hiring employees, growing your team, making sure that you properly convey what you do and the value proposition that an MSP provides to a company is going to be massive. Before I get into it, I do want to mention two quick things. Number one is check out my masterclass. It is 5 ways to make significantly more money with your MSP down below. Probably ways that I haven't ever covered on this channel, but also ways that you probably have never used to find more money in your business. Second thing is, this is probably my last video before the launch of my online course. If you want to get in early or right when it releases and get a steeply discounted price, there is a link down below. On August 1st, it'll be changing over from the waitlist to the live link. Either way, up to you if you want to get it. It will only be severely discounted for probably about a week or two before it goes to full price as people get into it. So take advantage of that, especially if you're seeing this early. So let's talk about the actual value proposition of an MSP, because a lot of people, they're just not sure. And when somebody says, well, why should I hire your company? This is going to be a massive, massive topic that comes up all of the time. Now, this is going to help you in your sales conversations. This is also going to help you if a client's like, I don't know if I really need you. It's going to help defend your position as the reason why they want to continuously spend money with you. So number one, right off the bat, we need to talk about cost efficiency. There is a massive value savings and cost savings to the business. Now, I talk a lot about this selling based on value and not price. The first thing you want to do, without a doubt, is when you go to this meeting, how you want to figure out how often they're having downtime. How often are they experiencing downtime? How often are computer issues happening? Because if they're never happening, you're probably not going to get the deal. I can tell you that right off the bat. But the vast majority of companies are always having technology issues. It's your job to figure out what kind of technology issues they're having. But ultimately, when you want that sale, how much is it actually costing them? Is the business owner taking time out of his day to go fix the issues? Or is it a high-paid person that is making, I don't know, $100,000 a year at $50 an hour, not able to work for a handful of hours per month or even a day per month? It would be a massive savings to employ an MSP or hire an MSP and keep that person working at 100%, as opposed to them having downtime and wasting valuable time that they could be spending on work. So there is a massive cost efficiency there. And that's only one of the areas. That's making sure that your network gets back up quickly, where that could span the whole company. That's also making sure that you're not overpaying or underbuying different pieces of technology, which I'm going to get into in the next part. Number two, which is going to be your expertise and experience. The value that you provide is not only keeping people busy or keeping people working, but also the value of the knowledge that you bring to the table. In many MSPs or MSSPs, they look at themselves as the VCIO or the virtual information officer, essentially is what they, or CTO, virtual outsourced CTO work, which is your technology officer. The knowledge and the expertise that are being brought to the table is huge, and there is an inherent value to that. Just like that company employs, I don't know, HVAC technicians. It could be lawyers that they're employing. It could be accountants that they could be employing. It could be, I don't know, any other industry out there. It could be even an e-commerce business out there. Either way, you're bringing your expert knowledge of technology, what they actually need, the hardware that's required to get the job done. And if you don't know, that's okay. There's plenty of resources on the internet, but you having the base, the foundation of knowledge puts you infinitely further ahead than them sitting there slamming away at the keyboard, hoping that they're going to find what they're looking for on Google. So number three, 24/7 support. I would imagine most people are doing 24/7 by usually about 360, 365, 355, somewhere in there. But mostly every day of the year, 24/7, you can get support. That could be emergency support. That could be remote support. That could be on-site support if you're crazy and you have a healthy budget. You could be sending somebody out 24/7, but you are offering 24/7 support. In today's day and age, we all know that employees don't work a normal, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever the hours are. And especially now, they're not always in the office. So you're not necessarily going to be going to an office to fix this computer. You need to have, or you don't want the employee to bring the computer into the office for something that could have gotten troubleshot remotely. So 24/7, hopefully 365 or somewhere around that number, should be a instant no-brainer for a business owner. Hey, you're working late at night, 9, 10 o'clock. Yeah, our team is ready to take care of that issue. Put in a ticket. We'll get back to you within a couple hours to help address it. And sometimes, we all know with scripting, you could even just have these issues troubleshot before you get there with a script. So the opportunities are nearly endless, and that 24/7 support is something that businesses need to know, that people don't work a normal 9 to 5 anymore. It just doesn't happen. People bring their work home. They're constantly traveling around. It is a no-brainer. Number 4 is going to be risk management. Anything, and I know you're probably thinking, well, obviously, yeah, but it could just be avoiding a massive disaster of backups. It could be making sure that ESET's on the computers, but ultimately you are making sure that the risk is minimized to the best possible level. You're never going to get rid of all the risk. There's no such thing as that. There's always the chance of something potentially bad happening, but you're there to minimize it. You're there to take away the pain of the business owner to say, hey, it's okay. We got this. We're going to take care of it. And you have to build that trust over time. Number 5 is going to be scalability. It helps for you to grow, and it helps them to grow by them not needing to hire new tech people to delegate who's going to be in charge of the technology. It makes it easier for the customer to scale and for you to scale, because you know that you don't need to go hire more people in finance. You probably just need more people in the tech space to help answer those service tickets and get those issues addressed. It allows the businesses to scale and you scaling. It's a simple no-brainer in that area. Number 6, frees up in-house resources. So along with that scalability and risk management, it no longer takes the work of somebody whose job isn't quite the tech person. That's going to be the big thing. It no longer puts that stress on the business, and it removes that, allowing those people to be more productive and probably do the job that they were originally hired to do. Now, I'm mentioning these all because you need to make sure that when somebody's like, well, why should I even hire you? I'm not sure if you should, but if you're interested in the cost efficiency, the expertise and experience, the 24/7 support, the risk management, I wrote down notes because there's no way I could remember all these off the top of my head. Scalability, right? Freeing up in-house resources. Next is going to be the biggest one, and I think probably the one that most people overlook. And I know not every MSP is going to be able to perform this, but compliance and security. You're definitely going to be able to do the security part, but some MSPs are going to be able to deal with the compliancy part. There are so many government-regulated acronyms out there. I call them the Alphabet Club, but you have PCI compliance, you have FINRA, you have HIPAA, you have, I believe there's even a whole industry for banking, which I really never stepped into because the amount of red tape and lasers that you have to avoid is pretty crazy. But there are so many areas that come into play, such as keeping that network secure and keeping it compliant. If you have the team, go for it. Hey, by working with us, you know that you're going to be compliant. You know that you're going to be compliant processing credit cards. You know that you're going to be compliant with dealing with patient information. You know that you're going to be dealing with any other regulated industry. And the nice part is Enable, ConnectWise, all of these RMMs all have it usually built in to some degree, if not fully, to make sure that you're producing the right amount of notes, the documentation to make sure that that person never leaves compliance. So that was number 7. Number 8 is access to the latest technology, going right hand in hand with your experience. But a lot of businesses don't take action and they don't buy the right technology for their business. Sounds crazy. The car world, the dealership world, still uses a platform called Reynolds and Reynolds. And to paint you a picture of what Reynolds and Reynolds looks like, I'm not going to pull it up on my computer here, but it's one of those horrifically blue screens with that like old text that you would find on like a 1995 like Mac, and you would have to tab through everything, and the GUI interface is awful, graphical user interface. It just is a brutal technology, but they bought a license 100 years ago. Dealer Socket and all of these other programs make it far more efficient. Same thing in the law industry where you have Excel documents going to Practice Panther. But bringing in the latest technology is a massive win. Now, we talked a little bit about risk management and we talked about compliance and security, but business continuity is going to be huge. Reducing that downtime, keeping people working, making sure that the entire organization runs smoothly. While you're not going to be the manager of that company, you are making sure that there is complete business continuity throughout there, making sure that they are running at nearly, if possible, 100% all the time. We used to call it the 5 nines. We would try to get to a 99.999% uptime. When we sold internet services, I don't know why it took me so long to think of that, we would have a 5-9 policy minimum. So if they were going to bring in internet, we wanted to make sure that whoever brought it in was a 99.999% uptime. There were internet providers that offered 6 nines, 99.9999% uptime, which was like 2 minutes per year, which I know is kind of absurd, but that is what they're kind of guaranteeing. Business continuity is huge, and every business owner understands what that term is and what it means for their business, because it is their baby, their pride and joy. And last but not least, one of my personal favorites, because you can make so much money in this, is predictive maintenance. Hey, we're getting logs saying this computer's hard drive is either filling up or corrupted, whatever it is. We all know that we've seen the tickets come through on the service board. There is problems happening. Or customers like, hey, I don't understand why I bought these nice, maybe 4K stretching, but 1080p cameras, and they're not really working the way they're supposed to. Well, where'd you plug them into? An old switch, right? We can then take what we know and say, hey, we have X amount of years left on this server before we have to consider either upgrading completely or going to the cloud. And you can predict what the technology expenses are going to be. Hey, we need a new server. They probably need this. They're going to spend this. It's okay. It's a $40,000 server. They don't want to go to the cloud. Plus, we got to manage it, back it up. You can start to predict and show the clients what their future technology costs are going to look like. And that is a massive, massive value add. And there is so much money to be made just looking at the technology that they already have. You look over, it's an OfficeJet printer, you try to print something and the ink is coming out blotchy, you check it and that is dry as could be because it's an inkjet, not a laser jet. And they're wondering, well, I keep buying ink for this all the time and every time I use it, it's so expensive to use. I should just print it at, FedEx or whoever does printing near you, right? Minuteman Press, whatever. It's so easy to be like, oh, you're using the wrong technology. And by the way, I have a great printer person I can refer you out to. You made money for you made money for that person. It's a game changer, but offering that predictive maintenance, hey, we know that you're having a hard time with this. We're going to find the right thing using our experience, freeing up your resources by somebody troubleshooting it and making sure that you have the latest technology. And you might not even need a printer. You might need just a scanner. There's so many opportunities out there to make more money for your MSP. So I hope this helps, but I just wanted to touch upon this because I think that there's a lot of people that have an issue with finding their value proposition, and every MSP should be covering most, if not all of these. And if you're not, you're holding yourself back from making more money. And if you are on the right track. I'm super excited. It's the end of the video. Do me a favor, check out the links down below. I do have that online course. It is going to be releasing August 1st if you're interested, and getting in that MSP masterclass, which is a simple no-brainer. It's completely free. Go check that out down the links below. Other than that, I'll see you guys on August 1st on launch day. I'm pretty excited. Bye.